Women frequently hear certain praises. You're stunning. You're intelligent. You're great. They do, in fact, value them. A kind grin, a gentle thank you, and possibly even a flush. Here's the reality, though. No one informs you that she rarely feels deeply moved by those words. They are regular, predictable, and safe. However, you must say things that go far beyond the surface if you want to genuinely capture a woman. Not simply flattered, not just intrigued. You must talk to the aspect of her that isn't often recognized. The component that longs to be understood rather than merely observed. Rare, strong, and nearly illegal compliments. She doesn't get these kinds of compliments every day. She finds herself lying awake at night wondering about the man who said these things. They evoke an emotion, a primal instinct, or an indelible experience within her. We're delving further into the top 3 prohibited compliments today, which will make any lady want to be around you. She will want your thoughts, speech, and vitality in addition to your physical attributes. The majority of guys are unaware that compliments have 2 sides. If you say the incorrect thing, it comes out as needy or false. If you say anything too typical, she will quickly forget it. However, say something uncommon that speaks to a hidden aspect of her psyche. And all of a sudden, you're different from the others. You become into the man she recalls. Stoic wisdom become your secret weapon in this situation. Seeking approval does not flatter a real stoic man. In an attempt to win affection, he doesn't give out compliments like sweets. No, he communicates powerfully, precisely, and with intention. When you master this technique, women will be pulled to you in ways they cannot even describe, not just like you. To get her totally enthralled, let's dissect the top 3 prohibited compliments. Most guys give women compliments based on their appearance. Her body, her style, and her beauty. What about her mentality, though? Women crave praises that acknowledge their intelligence rather than the cliched, "you're smart" variety. This one goes further, though. It concerns her thought process, the perspective she observes, and the distinctive patterns in her viewpoint. Why does it work? Because it demonstrates that you're focusing on something that most men completely overlook. I see you, it informs her. Not simply your physical attributes but also your inner thoughts and world. It gives her a sense of uniqueness, specialness, and power. It appeals to her innermost feelings. She will want to tell you more about herself. She will try to demonstrate to you how admirable her mind is, how to utilize it. The next time she expresses an opinion, particularly one that is profound, out of the ordinary, or imaginative, look her in the eyes and tell her, "That's a really interesting way to look at it. To be honest, I don't believe I've ever encountered someone with your perspective." Then stop. Allow the significance of what you said to sink in. See her smile, not because you pleased her but because you knew who she was. This one affects her heart rather than her ego. Since how often do women receive compliments on their strength? Let's face it. Indeed, they hear remarks like, "You're so sweet," or "You're cute when you're mad." However, does anyone pause to recognize how she manages to remain composed under pressure and when life gets chaotic? When everything collapses and she remains upright? Almost never. And that's precisely the reason this compliment has such impact. You're not making remarks about her appearance. Her charm isn't your main concern. You pay close attention to her fortitude, her shame in the face of criticism, and her emotional intelligence when the world puts her to the test. Why? Functions. Since it distinguishes you from all other men. The majority of males seek beauty, tenderness, and obedience. However, he is a stoic man who understands inner power. He finds it admirable. And a woman feels appreciated by such appreciation on a level that most men would never consider. It makes her feel proud because, even if she doesn't express it, she wants to be regarded as not just attractive but also admirable. The secret is as follows. When you give a lady praise for her strength, she will want to use that strength even more for you. How should I utilize it? Let's say she shares a tale with you about defending herself at work, handling a family situation calmly, or overcoming nervousness while still putting out her best effort. Saying, "Wow, that's impressive," is not enough. Say something like, "You handled that situation with serious composure, whereas most people would have lost their cool. That is uncommon. Then again, take a moment. Give her time to process that. You respected her, not simply saw her. And in a society that consistently devalues women, that level of regard has a magnetic quality. Whether she acknowledges it or not, every woman and every person needs to feel important, so this one really gets to the heart. In addition to being attractive and entertaining, she also makes a significant contribution to the lives of those she interacts with. Her attractiveness is not the subject of this compliment. Charm isn't important. It concerns her presence, impact, and influence. The reason it works is that it makes her feel better. It lets her know that she's more than just a pleasant person. In fact, she transforms those around her. It appeals to her need to be a part of something bigger. To understand that she is a positive energy source who, without even trying, encourages, uplifts, and fortifies others. She will view you differently once you say this, particularly if no one else has ever said it. She will feel noticed. How to apply it when you're with her and observe the group shift vibe. When she supports a buddy, uplifts someone, or says something that inspires positive change, people smile more, laugh louder, and feel more relaxed. Now is your time. Say, "You know what I truly adore about you," leaning forward. You improve the lives of those around you without even trying. Simply occurs. That is extremely uncommon. Few people can make her feel that strong, thus she will never forget that moment. These are not praises you receive every day. These lines aren't disposable. These are surgical blows intended to go to the heart of her emotions. However, sincerity is crucial. Don't pretend. They should not be used as pickup lines. Say them only once you've earned them. They have power because of this. Women are able to distinguish between males who are perceiving and those who are performing. And when she understands that you can see not just her physical appearance but also her thoughts, strength, and influence, she won't only feel appreciative. She will experience a sense of belonging. This is the point at which connection emerges from adoration. The majority of men believe that women want to be liked, but in reality, what they really want is to feel like they have an impact. Believe they are not just gorgeous but also influential, and that they motivate those around them. Thus, when you say to a woman, "You inspire me to be better," you are looking her in the eye. You're taking a daring step. By doing this, you are demonstrating to her that she is more than just someone you want. She has an impact on your development, attitude, and future as a man. Why? It fulfills a fundamental human urge to matter, which is why it works. Beyond her attractiveness, it gives her a sense of importance. She feels honored, not just admired, but respected as a result. It creates a special emotional connection when it is based on transformation rather than praise. "You change me for the better," you're telling her. Knowing that she brings out the best in you is one of the most exhilarating things a woman can experience. How to apply it when she warns you of a danger. She pursued a dream, and you can see it when she speaks her truth, stands strong in her principles, or demonstrates amazing kindness. Hold on. Say, "You know, you really inspire me to be better," as you gaze at her with sincere admiration. "I want to level up because of the way you present yourself and approach life. It's not something I take lightly." Her heart is going to melt. You included her in your inner circle of influence, not because you gave her praise. That is uncommon and memorable. This one is very different. It doesn't matter what she says or does. Has to do with her aura. Most people enter a room without anyone noticing. However, some create a feeling, a surge of energy, or a change in the mood. And when a woman does it, she feels it even though she doesn't always realize it. She goes from being adored to being felt when you are the one to identify it and give it a name that so few men dare to use. Why does it work? Since it captures her spirit. It lets her know she's more than just pretty. She has a magnetic personality. A space's emotional climate is impacted by her presence. You're praising her for who she is at her core, not for what she wears or how she appears. And that its usage is hardly acknowledged. Say this the next time you're in a group situation and see how the atmosphere changes as she speaks. How people lean closer, laugh more, or feel more open. It's amazing how your presence changes the entire atmosphere. It's difficult to explain the energy you bring, but it's impossible to ignore. As if you were sharing a secret with her, say it quietly. For the first time in a long time, she will feel seen, and she will never forget that moment. Not merely noted, but comprehended. These 5 remarks aren't meant to be flattering. They are about soul-level recognition, truth, and depth. The majority of guys make an excessive effort to impress women with cliched and expected remarks. You look stunning. You're attractive. You're great. She might smile at those, but she won't be moved by them. However, you develop something deeper when you become an expert at complimenting her on her strength, affect, influence, energy, and thoughts. You evoke strong feelings. You make a lasting impression. True attraction occurs when a woman feels appreciated, noticed, and understood in ways that no other guy has. Soul-level connection, not superficial infatuation. Because she feels valued, adored, inspired, and irreplaceable when she receives praises like these. They do more than just make her smile. Therefore, don't say what every guy says if you want to stand out and be the kind of man that women remember long after you've left the room. Say what only a stoic, smart, and deliberate guy would say. The woman will never forget if you speak to her soul.